Okay, like and share.
Sorry about the Russian time.
I'm multi-screening tonight, look. Got it everywhere. Unbelievable. Right, let's just get this liked and shared, and then I'll get on the way. West Ham are forcing a draw. Jacob and Southampton. Okay, right, let's get this going.
Oh, hang on, I'm just trying to take the jumper off. Sorry.
Wendy's doing a script show for us tonight.
Oh, cut it up, do you know? With fluffy pyjamas.
Definitely a show.
Oh, that's better. Oh, I have to turn the washing machine off, haven't I? Let me pause it. Can I do that? There you go.
That was on the washing machine.
Pause it. Pause.
Okay, that's me shared all over the place. Give us 2 seconds to build up an audience. Got a cup of tea tonight.
Bloody workout, that was.
Your 50 calories getting a bit strong for me tonight. I thought I'd had that night, I will not sleep tonight. Oh, I need a good night's sleep. I've not been sleeping very well. I had a bit of a nerve problem in my back. It's been hurting, so had a bit of a pain. Right, what are the soft rep picks of the day then? What I've been looking at. Honour Guard. Outed. It's a thing in America. They're sort of like Walter Mitty thing. There's some green berets who go around exposing all these like Walter Mitties, like the Walter Mitty Hunter Club. And they've exposed a thing called Honour Guard. And there's a piece on Soft Rep about that, which is quite interesting. So that's worth a look. Might have a chat about that one day, because they call it stolen valour over there. We call it Walter Mittying. Same sort of thing. Again, it's quite a complex subject, is the old Walter Mitty thing, because some people are genuinely not right, and some are doing it to make money, which is not right as well. So, yeah, quite an interesting piece. This one made me laugh. ISIS declares war with Hamas. So you've got ISIS in the Sinai in Egypt, and you've got obviously Hamas in Gaza, and they've declared like they're having a bit of a little bit of handbags of ISIS and Hamas. I thought that was quite funny, so that's worth a good read as well. And the rebels in Syria have shelled a load of Russian jets. So they've blown a load of Russian jets up. Sounds like the regiment in the desert in the old days, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Going around destroying aircraft. Well, the Syrians are doing it now as well, so there you go. So whoever the rebels are in Syria, it doesn't stipulate who, but have a read of that, because that's quite interesting as well. Protests in Iran, lots of civil unrest in Iran. Just everybody booting off against everything over there, to be honest. It's reached a bit of press over here. It's not the best of places to be in the world at the moment, Iran, so it's a difficult one. But again, we're going to showcase, we'll have a look in depth at Iran on another show, because I think it's worth having a look, because it's one of those things that gets overlooked here. You don't hear that much about it, but obviously we've seen all the stories about the women throwing the burqas away and all that sort of stuff. It's worth a look. Iran is worth a look at, because it's a hostile area, and I think it was on the axis of evil, as your man described at that time. Anyway, so worth a look. And then it's an interesting piece as well on the arming of paramedics. Now, should a paramedic have the right to defend themselves? Does a paramedic want to defend themselves? Does a paramedic want to be armed? Okay, interesting piece. I think on the battlefield in certain scenarios, yes, 100% sure they should be armed, okay? But then again, it comes down to the individual again. You can't arm somebody who doesn't want to be armed. So, in that case, is there a place for them in certain scenarios? We'll have a butcher's at that, but I'll let you read the piece on SoftRep first. That's on softrep.com. Well worth a look, and like I say, all those pieces are written by operators, by people who understand the job. And no mess tins, no messing around, so there you go. Okay, I thought today I would quickly have a look at the situation in North Korea, because it's been going on and on and on, and I do get asked a lot of stuff about North Korea and what's going on and what's being said and what's being done. And North Korea is one of those places you only see what they want you to see. But what I've seen so far doesn't actually impress me too much, i.e. the missiles. They don't go that far. All right, there's been some loud tremors, but there's been no substantive evidence of all this stuff being able to reach the United States and all that claim that he's doing. Oh, I've got missiles that will reach anyone. Absolute bullshit as far as I'm concerned at the moment. So when we're looking at North Korea as a whole, is it saber-rattling? Why is he doing it? Why do the Chinese not get involved? Have your thoughts on this. I want to hear what you've got to say about it, because I think it's quite an interesting topic. Kim Jong-un is quite obviously bonkers, and he's obviously got the whole country at ransom. I mean, if a man can turn around and tell his country that they've won the World Cup, and a good majority of the people either believe him or just believe anything they're told nowadays, just as long as they get fed. Because don't forget, outside of Pyongyang, most of the country needs aid, it's got no food, it's had starvation and all sorts. So the country's a bit of a mess. But we've all seen these massive parades they do with sort of like hundreds of thousands of troops marching up and down, guns and all the rest of it going up the high street. That's all very well and good if you've got the capability to use the stuff and moreover send the stuff overseas. And I don't truly believe that he has. I think there's a lot of gobbing off. I think Donald Trump was quoted today as saying he'll do whatever is necessary to stop Kim Jong-un's nukes. And I don't doubt that he will. But I think deep down, most of us probably know already, there ain't much coming out of that country that's going to reach further than Seoul, to be honest. And even if it clears the DMZ, I don't think it's going that far. So how seriously, I think what they need to do is start overflying that place with some serious drones and having a look at what they've really got, because I don't think they've got a lot. I'm almost convinced. I might be proved wrong. You might have to tell me to shut my mouth in a few weeks' time. Okay, when they launch loads of nukes, we're like, it ain't going to happen, I'm telling you. So the North Korea thing, I was talking about this with my nipper today as well. Like, why are the Chinese not saying anything? Is it the Chinese's litmus paper? Do the Chinese let the whole thing run as if to say, well, you know, would you go against us? And that's their sort of like test bed. Will they go in and do anything in there, or will they just let it roll? Because basically, if you go into North Korea, you are stepping really on the Chinese toes a little bit, and you'd expect them to have to do something about it. You know, they've either got to back you, or they've got to go, no, you're out of order. This is our backyard. Fuck off. Okay, so you've got to look at the bigger picture here. It's not just Kim Jong-un. It's the whole region: Japan, China, South Korea. You've got to have a butchers at the whole thing. It's not just good enough to say, right, North Korea. Because I don't seriously believe that North Korea is as big a threat as what it says it is. Of course it's a threat. Of course they'll take journalists if they go over there. Of course they'll do that. You know, they give anything they had to get a good bit of PR or one up on Donald Trump. But all they can do to get one up on Donald Trump at the moment is allegedly hack into systems via computers and all that sort of stuff. Or, you know, like I say, just all this complete bullshit rhetoric that goes on all the time. Which, like I say, to me, the majority of it just sounds like a load of shit. So let's see what people are saying on here. Let's have a quick chat about that. Do people believe it? Do people think? Come on, I've got American viewers on here. What do you reckon? You think you should go in there and kick some ass? I do think that sooner or later, someone's going to have to shut the idiot up. Or do they not want to shut him up? Would shutting him up involve the Chinese? You tell me. Let's have a butchers. It's how he's backing them that is the problem, says David Dorby. China should deal with it, says Paul Herbert. If they don't want the world there, deal with it. We as the world should not allow the treatment of humans to go. Yeah, that's one of the issues I do have with the place. That, like I say, outside of what you're allowed to see in Phnom, which is, you know, you've all seen the videos, and I've done quite an extensive research into what comes out of there, and the footage that comes out of there of these hospitals and quite blatant power failures and all that sort of stuff. It is a show for the cameras. They don't let anybody go anywhere that they're not supposed to go. So there is definitely suffering there. That there is reports of these gulags and these prisons where they intern families and generations and all that sort of stuff. And I think there's probably huge human rights violations going on there. Is that then our business to get involved with it? Some people would argue against that as well. So have a look at the 1968 Foundation, Steve Wood's Housing Homeless Vets, exposing the properties left vacant and unused, doing a good job. I will, Bernie, I'll have a definite look at that, and we'll come on to that later. Unleash Mattis and knife hands, problem solved. The Hampshire Hammer is the answer, says Chris Gradilty. Lee Samiko Fanny, it's becoming known that North Koreans want change. I think that the average person in North Korea has to want change. I mean, it's all secret society, it's all, nobody says anything against the supreme leader and all that sort of game. It must be a very tense place to live, unless you're one of the gang, unless you're in with a top shed, and then you're getting given a house and a wage and a car, and, you know, you're allowed to do this, that and the other. Yeah, so it pays to be in with the crowd, doesn't it? Why are Trump and Kim Jong-un comparing nuclear buttons. Should it not be stupid hair pieces? I think you're right. I think we could have a hair cut off, couldn't we? We could have a cut off. We could have a wig off. Yeah, that'd be more like it, wouldn't it? Danny Knowles is watching. Good evening, Danny. Big shout out to Danny and his dogs. We'll be showcasing Danny's dogs this year with Britannia K-Line Security, doing loads of stuff with them this year, so that'd be good to see. I seriously doubt any of the North Korean people believe what is being spouted at them. They just keep their mouths shut because you're probably right, Shirley. You're probably thinking, you know, for him to turn around and say, we won the World Cup. That done it for me. I was like, hey, you won what? You couldn't win a fucking egg cup, let alone the fucking World Cup. Do you know what I mean? You're a completely like a buffoon, mate. You know what I mean? I don't think you've even got an 11 that play football in your country. A USA Special Forces officer, this is from Andy Harris, said you would do loads of damage dropping preloaded iPhones. You probably would, especially if they had credit on them and they could get a bit of.
That's what he's saying, preloaded.
Yeah, preloaded with some credit and some internet and all that sort of caper into the right areas to wake people up. Yeah, that'd do a huge amount of damage.
Sending Andrew, certainly.
Sending Andrew, you don't go there. They'd eat him. He'd get eaten. Phil, can you do a full EDC loadout on your YouTube, please? Says Harry Woodward. Yes, I am. And like I say, I've got all my kit laid out.
Look at my little top there.
I'm totally overtaking the kitchen at the moment with all my
and these
cameras and computers and that, and I'm trying to learn how to use it. So as soon as I've got it all and I've got my editing stuff up together, I promise, put out some proper decent stuff. I've got it all worked out. Would love to know what all their medals are for, says Lee, some serious fan. Yeah, mate, haven't you seen them? They wear them on their trousers and everything, don't they? It's absolutely bizarre. They've got like these fucking rows of these great big stars and medals and that. Absolutely incredible. And what are they for? You haven't been out the back door, you bastards. You know what I mean? Well, this one's for beating up locals. This one's for taking corn off of cows. The fuck? What the hell is all that about? North Korea are talking about sending a Winter Olympic team, says Dennis Brown. Yeah, I bet they'll send it, but I won't fucking go back again. I wanted to go swimming with the dolphins, but couldn't afford it, so I went swimming with the sharks. Okay. Cost me an arm and a leg. I'll do the fucking jokes right around here. Nice one. I think if we blitzed them with Hairstyle Monthly magazine, the whole regime would collapse. There's only something like 12 haircuts they're allowed, so I think you're right. I think if I took my mate from the clip joint across the road over there with his clippers, and we sort of like just set up a stall for the morning, and we've done a few beard trims and a few fucking some tram lines and that. Do you know what I mean? I think even Kim Jong might go, what the fuck's going on here? And put his fucking Emmental cheese down for 2 seconds and go and have a proper haircut. What do you reckon? I reckon that'd be quite quality, wouldn't it? Kim is skin, says Philip. He's not so much his skin, he's got nothing to spend it on, has he?
Emmental.
Where can he go? I mean, he can buy cheese. He can buy cheese.
No, but he doesn't, because all those bronze figures that they build in all those other countries, statues, he sends his people over to build them, don't they?
Yeah, they come from all over the world. Make a fortune. All work at McDonald's, 2 medals and fries and yeah, maybe that is, maybe they're not commanders at all, maybe they're some sort of McDonald's workers and they've been doing it for a lot longer than us and they're more qualified than we are at doing it. Yeah, maybe. Big Phil, can you tell me where John McAlee is laid to rest, please? As I'd like to pay a visit. I believe it's in there. I don't actually know, so I'm sort of like talking out of turn here, but I will find out for you. I'll make a note of that. And I will find out for definite, because I've not been myself.
We should be in Hereford.
I don't know if it's on. We're going to Hereford next week, so I will find out about that, but I don't actually know. But I'm sure somebody watching will know. In fact, I would guarantee that McGookin would probably know, because he knows all that sort of stuff. So McGookin, if you're watching, get it up there, son. Noodle frying medals, yeah? Noodle frying medals. That's worth a medal, isn't it? In fact, I was making some medals earlier. There. It's just that they came out more like, there you go, I've got a couple of medals on me now. This one's for eating pies, and that one's for avoiding Andrew while I was eating pies. So there's a couple of like donut-y type medals, but it's the same sort of thing as they got in it. So
the cinnamon swirls.
Cinnamon swirls.
And you didn't make them at all.
And if you do really good, you get to wear the Yorkshire pud. Unbelievable. Yorkshire puds and cinnamon swirls. There you go. So the Yorkshire pud, that always goes down well. I'm sure Kim I bet Kim's now thinking to himself, I'll tell you what, I've given out all these medals and should have been giving out fucking Yorkshire puddings. He is a fucking Yorkshire pudding. Thank you, Big Phil, much appreciated. No dramas. Eating the most dogs in 45 minutes. I'm sure I can get through quite a few. I'm planning a trip to Hereford Cathedral to see the tomb removal window. Yeah, it's quite a place. I've not been in there yet to see it, but I'm sure it's fucking.
We've got lots to do up there next week, haven't we?
Lots of stuff to do. Chocolate medals, yeah. Phil takes a biscuit. Robert Mason, let it go for fuck's sake.
Any button mushrooms in the house?
I'm sure there is, mate. Yeah, you could make button mushrooms, couldn't you? As medals. Button mushrooms as medals. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't. That's a new one for me to say to Wendy. You wouldn't like it as a medal on your chest, would you? Although she probably would. A spitting medal. Any button? Yeah. Hello, Wayne. Jason, what's happening here for the Wendy? Jason, happy New Year. Phil, you're going on a cruise this year. We've got 3 booked in this year. One's doing the fjords, that's for a week. Another Mediterranean one for 2 weeks, and then there's one for a week somewhere. I think it's going up the Seine or somewhere stupid like that. Insane.
Or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. But any Jaffa cakes left? No, we've got no Jaffa cakes. You know what? We normally buy one of those great big boxes of Jaffa cakes, and we didn't get one this year. Gutted. We're just about coming to the end of all the chocolatey type
No, we've
stuff.
got loads of chocolate left. We'll put it all in the cupboard. And that basket where you've put...
There's a basket full of the stuff
behind him, full of sweets. We've got loads of sweets left.
Yeah.
We don't really eat a lot of sweets.
No, I don't.
Well, I did used to.
It's too much.
But I've cut right back.
Saw me on Netflix. Is that an old show? If it's the SAS one, yeah, it's a couple of years ago, I think now. Or a year ago, something like that.
I've been shopping now. Do you want to sit in my fridge?
Oh, get out of the fridge. I don't want to go in that fridge. I wear the hinges out there every day as it is. Okay, what we got? Come on, give me some questions. Phil, how close is SAS showed us back on Sunday to the real selection? Chris, I've got to tell you, it's great telly, it will be a great show, but it bears no resemblance to selection whatsoever. Okay, I don't think I'm out of order by saying that. Okay. I think even the lads that are on it would admit that it is done purely and rigged for television. However, it's still not to say that some of the ethos and some of the stuff that they're doing is designed along the lines of how selection works, and it's designed to test individuals to their limits, or to their, as Ollie calls it, breakpoint. Okay, so a cracking show. This one's meant to be, I've spoke to the lads about this one, and I reckon this one's going to be the best one so far. So please give them a watch, give them likes and shares and all that sort of stuff, and support what they're doing, because it is, apparently this year is going to be a cracking show. They wouldn't tell even me too much. I was like, oh, a bit gutted. But no, Billy said to me it's going to be a cracking show. Ollie said it's going to be a cracking show, and I do believe them. So I think it's out in Morocco this year. It's out in the Atlas Mountains. They've got a cracking location. I'm not going to give you too much because it's their deal and not mine. But it is going to be a good show this year. But in terms of being anything like selection, not at all, I'm afraid.
Chris Langford said, how would you get on if you were on that programme Hunted?
Right, I actually have repeatedly, and I'd like people to repeatedly start hounding Hunted for me, because I said I'll put a team together of all ex-SAS and we'll see if they can find us. And I can guarantee they won't. And moreover, once we've done it that way round, we'll then make the SAS team the hunters, and we'll hunt them fuckers. And I'll tell you what, they won't do it. They're scared of doing it. And I said, any proceeds made, I'm prepared to give my fee to charity. Any money that's made, I'm prepared to give my fee to charity on that one. And I'll be absolutely, we'll just make monkeys out of them. I'm telling you that now. They are scared to do that. I've spoke to Hunted HQ. I've spoke to a couple of the hunters. They follow me on Twitter, etc., etc., etc. So we got one in today. Okay, but they will not do it. They are scared. So put the word out there. Big Phil is on the rampage. Big Phil wants to go on Hunted. Big Phil wants to make them all look like monkeys. Okay? Because they will look like monkeys because you actually take piss out. And they would not stand a chance. They wouldn't catch me if they knew where I was. Let alone if they didn't know where I was. They've got no hope whatsoever. So they're scared of it. And if the truth be known, the whole idea was mine in the first place. When I went up to Channel 4 about 3 years ago, and I spoke to a guy called David Glover, who was one of their commissioning thingies. And so I think that's why they're keeping me away from it, because it was my idea.
It was your idea, yeah. Stolen a couple of your ideas, didn't they?
Yeah, they have. I have a suggestion. Why don't you send Corbyn to North Korea for cheese tasting competition and leave the twat there? He'd probably do quite well. That's why he'd probably clean them out of cheese, persuade them all into some lunacy. And then, no, I don't know. Yeah, maybe leave him there.
I think Phil should put in an application for Big Brother.
Steve Birdie says, Hunted, get it on, Big Phil. I would love to get it on. I would absolutely love to get it on. pester Channel 4 on my behalf. I'm quite happy for you to do that, and like I said, I would be quite happy to put a team of ex-SAS soldiers together, go on that show, make absolute monkeys out of them, and, you know, give some money to charity out of it as well, as far as I'm concerned. It would be awesome, it would be fun, yes, it would be fun. Hunted Big Phil style, excellent, says Catherine. Can you imagine me, Jimbo? I mean, Jimbo could hide in my sock. He's ridiculously good, do you know what I mean? He really is good. He's such an outdoor man. They would never find him. They would never fucking hope. He got, I mean, I'd cut the shape of a bastard space opera and I could beat the cunts around town, do you know what I mean? They would not have a fucking clue what they were doing. We'd lose them at every fucking junction. It'd be ridiculous. And I think that's why they don't want to do it.
Right, somebody's asking if we've done the raffle yet. We still haven't done it.
We haven't done the raffle yet. I'm waiting to get to Manchester because the gear for the raffle's in Manchester, so I can't physically do it from here unless I can work out how to do it.
And plus we want an independent person to draw
the tickets. And I need an independent person to draw the tickets because I don't want people going, fix. Do you know what I mean? The old social club, meat draw fix. Do you know what I mean? Fix. It's the bacon pack. It's the breakfast pack. Fix. You know what I mean?
Oh, she won the beef last week. She's got it again.
I know. Oh, he always gets the leg of lamb and the steak. Yeah. Not having that.
I'm not buying any more tickets. No, we are going to do it.
Steve Stockley says, can you imagine filming Big Brother? Well, I have put my name in for that as well. So, yeah, I'd go on Big Brother.
No, you haven't put your name in for it, have you? You've got to send an application.
Yeah, you've got to send it. But I need an agent to do it for me.
He's telling lies now.
I put the one in for not the celebrity one, for the other one. Nothing came back.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you make the video?
Yeah. Done the lot. No, you saw me. I've done it.
Oh, I didn't know if I didn't see it. Sorry. Well, you send it in again. Keep going.
Great to see you breaking up with those fellas. I tried several times. Oh, not breaking up today. Yeah, last night was funny. I reckon Kim Jong-un was probably watching last night. We got a spike on the fucking old iPhone. Do you know what I mean? He's looked in, and that's why he's probably going to change his haircut. But you hope that you first. Jamie Taylor's watching. Leigh Stacey, you can get an app to do it. I'll be on that conversation now.
Why not do your own escape and evasion reality show?
Well, you know, I probably could do it, but you know, you're talking a lot of dough to do something like that. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got to find somewhere to get the dough from. You've got to find somewhere to stump up the money to film it. You know, it's quite. You know, these TV companies do have the edge on you like that because there's money involved, isn't there?
Lee said,
yeah, I absolutely would be able to nail it.
That is the only time I've been watching Big Brother if Phil was in it. I tell you what, could you just imagine Phil in the Big Brother? He would drive people insane with his toilet habits. And
they wouldn't like me bum. They wouldn't like me bottom on the Big Brother, I'll tell you that.
All those prim and proper women on there, they just would not be able to cope with
not like the smell of my poo.
And the way he eats.
Permanently coursing around the diary room. He wouldn't want to go in the diary room after me, would he? Like, yeah, I'll stitch you right up.
You wouldn't want to get in the hot tub after him.
What about Big Brother with Corbyn? That would be gold dust. It would be fun, wouldn't it? He'd be my best friend in there. Not. Any more sequels to the SAS shows? No, I don't think there is anything planned. I think that last time was a bit of a one-off. I don't think that the regiment would allow it to happen again. I don't think the MOD would allow it to happen again. And I don't think Channel 5 have got the stomach to try and do it again. So, no, I don't think there will be.
Someone just said you seem to have a dirty stain on your
I do,
top,
yeah.
And I started looking.
Yeah. It's just there.
And then I can read the rest of it.
Right, Dennis. Is Bear Grylls legit or what? Says Chris Pont. Right, Bear Grylls. Let's touch on the subject of Bear Grylls. I like Bear Grylls. He's all right. But he's been groomed from a very young age to do what he's doing now. So he did do selection, but it wasn't full-time selection. He did TA selection. So he did it over a period of weekends. He was then injured in a parachuting accident. I mean, he never went on ops or anything like that. So he was injured in a parachute, as I understand it, and then got straight out. He didn't. He obviously he'd worn his berry to some. I don't know how the TA works, but he certainly wasn't badged into like full-time SF Special Forces. He then got out, and then his career really was mapped out for him. I think he did Everest, didn't he? Which, I mean, Everest is his age. I think, was he the youngest up Everest, or certainly one of the youngest up Everest?
He's done some great things.
I mean, he's done some great stuff. So in his own right,
he
really has done well. You know, nowadays everybody jumps on his bandwagon. He's an honorary Royal Marine, which actually I thought was a bit of a piss take, to be honest, because, you know, I earned my green beret and so did a lot of other fucking commandos, and obviously Royal Marines earn their green berets during training, and I just thought it was a bit of a piss take to give someone one like Bear Grylls. Give him one if he passes the course, yeah, stick him on the fucking commando course if he passes it. And I've no doubt he probably would pass it. He's a fit lad, he's intelligent, he knows what he's doing. So, but to just give him one, I mean, no, you shouldn't have been just giving one away to him. You know, especially as he turns up with his upside down wings on and all that sort of stuff. No, he probably shouldn't have. As for what he does now, I mean, he's done some great television. We've all seen him. I mean, again, take from me what you will. It's great television, and great television doesn't always equate to the real thing, does it? You know, so it's great television. He does some great stuff, and I hopefully I will get to meet the fella at some stage. I mean, he follows me on Twitter. I follow him. You know, we've had a few exchanges in the past before, but I mean, he's insanely busy. I'm not as busy as that, but you know, if our paths cross, he's not a bad bloke.
Nice to meet him.
He's all right. It'd be nice to see. Good evening, Phil and Wendy, and the rest of you. I'd like to see Bear do. I'd like to see Bear come down and support us for the boxing. That's what I'd like to do. I don't expect him to fight anybody. I'm sure, his agents and that wouldn't have him scrapping and all that sort of stuff. But it'd be nice to see Bear support the boxing this year. That'd be nice to have him there as a guest.
Yeah.
So if you're watching Bear, get yourself down to the boxing this year. You can come down, or get yourself down to the Peacock next time you're in London. Do a bit of training with me. All right, I'll do some of your fitness, and we'll have a little go on the pants of each other or something like that. That'd be fun. So if you're watching Bear, and I will send you a message actually, see if you're interested in coming down, and we'll get something.
Right, Benjamin Darcy said, "Even Phil, Wendy, how are you doing with the 100-day challenge?"
Right, day three today, dry as a bone. Dry as an old bag's cash, as they say. Okay, so I'm dry as a bone. Wendy's dry as a bone. Day 3, no problem so far. Look, hands steady, not shaking yet. All right, so this no drinking thing, I think it's going to be a breeze.
You think you was a bloody alcoholic where you were carrying it on?
It's day 3, Wendy. See, you don't get no support from Wendy. I don't get no support of any of my activities from Wendy.
He doesn't have a drink every day.
Well, you go on. It sounds like I had a drink every fucking hour. Let alone every day. Jesus, anybody would think I was completely lushed up the whole time. No, I think I'm
actually,
doing
do you know what? Funnily enough, right, I went to bed last night. And I got into bed and I thought, what's that on the bottom of my bloody bed? I got up and it was a bottle of brandy. I wouldn't normally have a bottle of brandy on my bed.
Scott says, talking about Marines, what do you think of the closing of the Marines Museum in Southsea, Portsmouth? I was gutted. I'm gutted, mate. I don't like to see anything to do with any of the forces closing down. You know, all these museums closing down, you know, things being cut. The only reason the soldiers are all still on leave is so they can cut the fucking fuel bills, if the truth be known. Ridiculous. All right? Defence of the realm is where it's at. Money needs to be applied into defence. Money needs to be applied into the retention of soldiers. Money needs to be applied into the well-being of the people that defend this country. And I would always stand by that. And it's all right saying we're going to do this, that, and the other, but if we have no physical means of securing our own country and having a force that, you know, can do something about other people doing us wrong, we ain't got nothing to do with anybody, have we? We're fucked. So, you know, sometimes I just feel, all right, you're ploughing money here, you're ploughing money there. Some of this international aid probably doesn't need to be going out anymore. Let's claw some of that back and let's bung it into some of our troops, because that's where our future lies, with our armed forces, as far as I'm concerned. Crazy Scottish bastard, I'll fight anyone, says Mike Baker. Well, you can come down and do some sparring with me, that's not a problem. Take money from the overpaid politicians and put it towards the defence of the realm. 100%, mate. Take some of their expenses off them, take this off them, take that off them. You know, absolutely. Mate, I could stroll into Parliament now and I could save you money hand over fist, left, right and centre, and put it where it needs to be. It doesn't take the brains of the Archbishop to do that, I'm telling you that now, all right? Okay, there'd be wage cuts, there'd be this cut, there'd be that cut, there'd be the other cut, there'd be expenses getting knocked out over the union, and it would all be going into the defence budget pot, and it would all be done and spent properly, you know, rather than pissing around with it. 13 billion of international aid should be going on our NHS, the armed forces and border agencies, Kev Ward, 100 million%. In fact, 130 billion%, or 30 billion%. You are right, and once again you are right with that statement. Of course it should be. What the hell are we giving money away to all these places for when we haven't got enough to support our own? When our own nurses are living on the breadline wage, when our own armed forces are having to take an extra week's leave because they can't afford to put them in the barracks. That is ridiculous. That is stupid. That is criminal. Okay? Hey Phil, love the same stops? I'm sure you do, apart from the old Pompey lad up there.
Dee's watching.
Ernie McGookin. I haven't had a drink since my last one. I'm sure you haven't. There was someone asking Ernie where Mac was buried. I didn't know, so I think if he's in Hereford, I don't know. But somebody wanted to go and pay the respects to his grave. So if you know what it is, stick it on the site, mate. Phil for PM, private message. Not just MPs' wages, but also heads of councils. Some of these heads of councils, oh dear, just don't they drive you mad? And what do they actually achieve? They clog the systems up. Just getting a parking permit round here is just ridiculous. And then once you have got it, you can't park your fucking car anywhere. Absolutely insanely fucking mad. And it's cost, money. Where does this fucking money go? It ain't going to the right places, is it? It ain't been spent on the right stuff. Because there ain't nothing improving. And there ain't nothing getting better. It's absolutely, it's criminal. It's fucking criminal, is what it is.
James said he's worried about your cough, go and get it checked. Actually, you haven't been coughing, have you? It's just when you get a bit excited.
Yeah, I always get excited. Phil, when you please give a shout out to Jordan Wiley, he's just found out.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget to see. Well, I didn't tell you, you said something about that.
Yeah, sorry,
I didn't take it in.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, you know, you can always give us a call, mate, if you need a chat or anything like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously,
it's not good, is it?
No, it's not great.
But it's not the end of the world, and he's a fighter, and he'd get on and he'd carry on and do it, and that's what we'd like to see.
There goes so Mac is in Hereford Crematorium. That goes out to the geezer earlier. There's a thing there about how did Sadiq Khan become Mayor of London? How does anybody become Mayor of London? You know, the fact is he doesn't do a very good job. He goes against a lot of things that a lot of people stand up against. He's just the wrong man for the job. He really is the wrong man for the job. He doesn't represent everybody. You know, the Mayor of London shouldn't even be a politician as far as I'm concerned. The Mayor of London should be somebody who represents the people. And Sadiq Khan does not represent the people of the town that I fucking live in, I'll tell you that now, right? He really doesn't. He represents some of them, yeah, but he doesn't represent all of them. And a Mayor of London needs to be able to blend in with absolutely everybody in the town. And I don't believe Sadiq Khan does in any way, shape or form. Dennis Fernal doesn't like my top. That's alright, I like my top. We're under Labour Council in West Bromwich and spent about 18 billion on an art museum. That's what we don't... I know, yeah, and half these art museums are filled with shit anyway, aren't they? If you look at them, I mean, seriously shit. They really are shit, some of the stuff they put in them. You know, and there's enough museums for that sort of stuff. Honestly, well, you got that museum down here a few years ago, and they had an unmade bed, which was attracting all sorts of attention. What? A load of people want to see an unmade bed? Just go into Grace's bedroom. They're made every fucking day. Do you know what I mean?
Grace is very tidy.
Murder rate has gone up in London, said David Dawes. Mate, the whole thing has gone up in London. It's in a very bad way at the moment. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Knifings. And this is a true thing. If it wasn't for the skill and dedication of our ambulance services and our first responders and our ER wards and all that sort of stuff, there'd be a fucking lot more people dead in this town as well. Because they're saving them left, right and fucking centre. Alright? They really are saving life on a fucking colossal scale, okay? So you could probably have tripled that number 4 on New Year's Eve because they probably saved at least 8 to fucking 12 that night. That's fact. Okay? So they're doing a tremendous job and they're doing it on peanuts fucking wages. Yet councillors are doing the fucking shite job and they're doing it on fucking lords' wages. What the fuck are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Right, don't get me started because I'll start fucking ranting and that's ridiculous, alright? So, that was Thursday night. A bit of a roundup, a bit of a current affairs show for you tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Tomorrow night is pre-drinking. I don't know where we're going to be yet because I might have to take Perry somewhere tomorrow night, so I might be pre-drinking somewhere else. I won't be drinking at all. If I am drinking anything, it'll be fucking lemonade, Coke, or... And you won't be drinking either, won't you? No. Day 4 tomorrow.
No, we're on a 100-day
challenge. 100-day challenge, right? Day 4.
100 days.
100 days, Grace. Yeah. How can the vegan go about anything? I'm not eating dust for 100 days either. You are. You're a vegan. Right, okay. She's alright. She can eat what she wants. Right, okay, that's it. Until tomorrow. Who dares wins.